Kirsty, your first game against your old mob probably couldn't have gone much better, really.
Yeah, it was obviously a nice feeling. Obviously a little bit mixed emotions heading into the game. I've never sort of played against an opposition or leaving a club. I've never sort of had to do that before in my life. So I wasn't sure really, what to make of the situation other than just to try and treat it as another game of football. But yeah, obviously most importantly to get the 4 points, which was the best. So.
How do you manage in some sports, say in soccer, you don't normally celebrate against your old side, so it's not really something you seem to adopt when you kicked a couple of goals?
Yeah, it was obviously nice to hit the scoreboard, first time for the club as well. So, and obviously to do it against your old side is obviously a super feeling. But yeah, obviously we went in with a game plan. We knew how we wanted to attack that game, and we executed our plan pretty well over most of the night. So I guess that's a good takeaway out of the game.
Playing on the MCG as well, how good was that?
Awesome. Obviously we don't get many opportunities to play on some of the bigger venues, and it was something that the girls were really excited to do. Hopefully we can see sort of a few more of those in the future of our game. And yeah, the surface was absolutely incredible. It was obviously a little bit wet, a little bit dewy at times, but nonetheless obviously there was a really good crowd there, and it sort of suited our style of footy a little bit as well. So yeah, it was awesome. Hopefully some more in the future.
I guess this weekend, Fremantle, massive game.
Yep.
How do you rate them? How do you feel that game's going to go?
Yeah, obviously they're coming off a loss on the weekend, so I have no doubt they'll be looking at this game to come out super strong and be physical and competitive, and that's sort of a little bit of Freo's nature in previous years. So we'll expect that they're going to come out and sort of lay the first punches, you would say, from the get-go. But yeah, we're expecting that. Obviously, hopefully we get a good crowd out here for our second home game for the year, and they've obviously got some really strong players, whether it be in their forwards or their midfield. So yeah, we'll do a little bit of review today, preview on Freo and what to expect, and make sure we come out firing.
How much does it suck the life out of a group when you have a big win like that, but then you lose your skipper who's been so unlucky with injuries already, and you don't have her for a year?
Yeah, obviously disappointing for JC. As you mentioned, she's had a phenomenal start to her year. Hadn't interrupted pre-season, but you wouldn't know it based on obviously her output in the first sort of game and a bit. But yeah, obviously disappointing. We've got a really strong leadership group. The girls will wrap their arms around JC as much as we can. Obviously, we've got a couple of other players that are going through some ACL rehab. So in one sense, she's got some support around her with girls who can help her through her rehab over the next few months, which will no doubt be tricky. But yeah, obviously disappointing. We'll have plenty of other players sort of step up. We've obviously got Alyssa Brooke, who hasn't played a game yet but can come in. Maddie Kerrick's got a wealth of experience under her belt. So yeah, I have no doubt somebody will take the opportunity that they now get this weekend coming in, and we'll support that player because it'll be their first game for the season as well. But yeah, obviously disappointing to lose your skipper, but JC's doing really well at the moment.
When you come to a new club, there's always a little bit of the unknown, not knowing how things are going to look and how the group's going to go, and obviously after beginning 2 seasons, a young group, it seems like this one has taken a real couple of steps in the past few months. How have you seen the development of the group so far? Yeah,
the group's matured an enormous amount over sort of the off-season, and from obviously coming into the group, knowing the group's quite young. Loz sort of let me know when I was sort of coming over that they had some conversations around sort of standards and where the group needs to get to if we want to be competitive in this conversation. And to the girls' credit, they've all taken it on board and trained really hard over the off-season. Obviously now starting to see it on-field, the maturity of the group, and obviously what it takes to be competitive in this competition. Obviously when you're new and you're starting out, it does take a little bit to understand each other and how we play and what the style of footy we're trying to play. But yeah, obviously glimpses of both the first 2 games. The style of footy that we want to play is some exciting footy, and we obviously want to hit the scoreboard a lot and have some big scores. So yeah, the group's matured a heap. We take a lot of learnings out of every week, and I think we'll continue to do that as we go further.
You never know how things are going to go until you actually get out there and play a few games. Do you think now the girls, given it is a youngish group, are getting a little bit of confidence and going, okay, we actually can match it with these sides, and it feels like now that the ceiling could be a bit higher this season?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously confidence comes when you can see glimpses of what it looks like, and each player individually at some stage over the first sort of 2 rounds has improved to probably what they were last year. So that always instills a little bit of confidence in your own ability, and then obviously when you can see a lot of the team stuff coming together, it means that we can grow obviously as a group. But I guess the main thing for us is like every game there's learnings out out of it. Obviously, we're not executing everything to 100%. We're sort of not perfect in any means, and I guess that's the opportunity for our group, is to continue learning and challenging each other, both on and off the field.
Has it exceeded your expectations at all, in terms of what you had in mind when you came to the club versus how competitive you've been in the first couple?
I knew they were competitive. From watching the first couple of years, I knew that there was plenty of girls in the team that certainly don't take a backward step by any means. So, yeah, I knew the girls were competitive. I think, it surprised me in the sense of how well connected the girls are. I guess how they just enjoy being around the club and spending time with each other. And then that obviously transitions onto the field a little bit as well. We sort of always picking each other up off the deck and having those little things that shows that we're like a well-united group, which is something that I've really enjoyed coming into and sort of trying to be a part of, I guess. So, yeah, the girls are super competitive, and I guess that's sort of part of our brand as well, is being competitive players and, not taking a backward step and bringing it up against whoever we come up against week in, week out.
Lammy, Julia Teagle kicked career high 4 goals on Friday. How pleasing is it to see her coming into her own?
Yeah, Teeks, again, obviously I only played a couple of games with her, but yeah, career high 4 goals for her is an outstanding effort. She'll put it down to everyone else around her chipping in, but I guess I get the privilege of seeing how hard she works at every training session to I guess be really good at her skill, her craft, and which is her goal kicking. And yeah, I guess again it still instills some confidence in her that some of the stuff she's done in the pre-season is now transitioning to on-field, and she can obviously compete with the very, very best defenders and still hit the scoreboard. So that's obviously a huge win for us. And, if we can get the ball in her hands, a lot of the time she'll end up kicking a goal, which is good.
Can I ask you just quickly, you played your first game at Alberton, was that showdown? What sort of atmosphere was that like, and how exciting is that for this week, hopefully getting a sort of, maybe not a similar turnout, but a pretty decent turnout anyway? Yeah,
obviously Alberton Oval, a packed Alberton Oval is an incredible feeling as a player. As a supporter of Port growing up, I've sort of been a part of the Never Tear Us Apart, and to be on the other side of that was amazing. We obviously had an enormous amount of support here, and hopefully we can get obviously a similar turnout this weekend. Obviously our boys are in a final, and hopefully they get a win on the Friday, and plenty of people come and support us on the Saturday. So hopefully we'll have a big crowd here and get another win.
Can I ask one last one? Is it true that you played cricket at the MCG but not footy?
Yes, that is true. I've on the weekend was my first footy game there. I've played a few WBBL games back in the day. So it was nice to have a run around and have a kick for a change. Yeah.